Hey guys, Alex here, back again doing another review. Doing my review of PWG Death to All But Metal. This was a show that took place in on May 25th. And I was really looking forward to this show going in just because the card looked really good, especially the four main matches, like basically dream matches, I think, for a lot of people that follow PWG. So let's just get into it with the first match, B-Boy versus Famous B. This was a pretty good match. Started slow, but picked things up a lot throughout the match, which is what you should do. The go-home segment was very, very good, back and forth. Nice veteran versus young guy. Famous B, I think this was his first singles match in PWG. I'm not sure exactly, but maybe. So he really looked good here, standing up against a guy like Famous B, who's very tough guy, probably really stiff too. I think he's got a record for being stiff, and he hung in there very well, and they had a really nice back and forth near the end, like just trading shots to each other, which was really cool. The crowd got into it a lot. Good match though, a lot of fun. Didn't mind at all. I'll give it 3 1/4. I give it the extra quarter just for that last the going back and forth striking. That was really good. Then we had TJ Perkins versus Ryan Taylor. This was a good match too. Really nice technical back and forth. TJ Perkins, definitely one of the most underrated wrestlers in my opinion. I mean, that guy is just such a great technical wrestler. Really deserves to be pushed better, especially by Ring of Honor. Good stuff here. A lot of fast-paced work between the two guys, and nothing really flashy or must-see, but just solid match. Good undercard match. Pretty short, but got the right amount of time. 2 3/4. Then we had kind of a weird thing happened here, where the PWG World Title was up in the line, and the Tag Titles were on the line right after this. This was due to Kevin Steen and the Super Smash Bros. Having to get early flights out of LA, so they had to basically put the matches on pretty early. So first was the PWG World Championship match between Kevin Steen and Brian Cage. This was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. Steen played the crowd a lot, and was very, very funny. Really poked fun at the whole how fit Brian Cage is, and just a lot of funny stuff between him and the crowd and Brian Cage. Really had something you got to see. Almost a Chikara match a little bit for a little while, but then it got serious as it went on. Really put over how strong and tough Brian Cage is, and this guy, I'm surprised he hasn't been signed with WWE. Apparently he was in WWE back in 2008, but the way the guy looks now, he looks like a guy that WWE would pick up in no time. So I'd like to see him back in WWE. I think he could be good there. But really good match here. A few good spots. A couple of really just holy shit moments. Finish was really just flat and sudden and just kind of came out of nowhere. And I think that kind of hurt the match a little bit. But I still like the match, and I'd like to see them have a rematch down the road. This match, I think they just kind of played it safe. They didn't want to, blow the crowd away and then leave them with right before intermission, so that they could, the rest of the show couldn't follow. So good match though, 3 1/2. And then we had the match of the night, in my opinion, and probably the PWG match of the year so far for me, at least. The no disqualification match for the PWG World Tag Team titles between the Super Smash Bros. And the Young Bucks. This is for the vacant titles that were vacated by Super Dragon Kevin Steen due to Super Dragon being hurt. This match, right from the get-go, just fast-paced action. These guys just went out and worked their asses off this entire match and told a great story. Just these two teams having great chemistry, just working so well together. They need to keep working together. I'd love to see these guys work in other companies too, like Chikara or Ring of Honor, but here the crowd just adds a lot to this match too. So really great stuff. Very good feud between these two going on. So many spots in this match that were just awesome and great, and just so many great near falls. The finish of this match was one of the hottest finishes I've seen in PWG this year. I mean, the crowd was going nuts for this finish, and part of it had to do with the ref bump and just how much they wanted to see the Super Smash Bros. Win. Great job of both teams, and bravo for them for taking so many crazy spots, and just good job from them. Just great moment here, and one of the best matches I've seen in PWG this year. This match alone makes the show worth buying, in my opinion. 4 1/4. Then we had Peter Avalon, Ray Rosa, Joey Ryan versus Candice, LeRae, and the RockNES Monsters. This was a solid tag team match. Basically, just this match probably would have been like on the before intermission, like on the undercard, but due to the card structure, it was put here, and it was all right. It was fun for what was here. I will say Ray, Rosa, Ryan, and Avalon are pretty good trios, and I actually wouldn't mind seeing them in like the King of Trios or something in Chikara this year, because I think they're very comedic. You know, obviously they have to toe down the whole sexual innuendos during the match, but I think they work pretty well. They have some good tag team maneuvers, especially Ray, Rosa, and Avalon. You know, but good match here. The finish and the high spots were good. Didn't go very long, and it did what it was supposed to do. 2 3/4. Then we had Willie Mack versus Michael Elgin. This was a good match. I kind of said this was a dream match for me, and for what it was here, it was delivered. It was pretty short though, only like 12 minutes, and you know, you could tell they were just starting to get the groove when you know, they had a slow start, just kind of putting over how tough these two guys are and how, you know, very strong and very hard hitting these two guys are. Which they really did a great job of emphasizing that in just how they wrestled the match. And you know, Elgin did 2 deadlifts to Willie Mack and then like a stalling suplex at one point, and just, you know, it's crazy how strong Elgin is, and Willie Mack too. You know, he's no slouch either. He worked hard in this match. He did a few cool spots, but really these two guys just really, you could tell that they could work a great match if they got more time. If they had like maybe 5 more minutes, this could have been a lot better. It was still a good match though. It except from the time, you know. But good match though, and just, you know, really just show what these two guys can do if you give them time. And 3 1/4, or yeah, 3 1/4. Then we had the main event, El Generico versus Ricochet. This was a grudge match dating back to All-Star Weekend night 2 last year, when like El Generico and Ricochet like split up as a tag team when they were partners for a little while. This match had a very nice grudge match feel with like these two guys just. Ricochet especially, like, he played the cocky, young, arrogant young guy, and El Generico was the veteran, so that helped for the story a lot. You know, Ricochet was very cocky, you know, mocking Generico at times, getting right in his face, just, you know, kind of trying to egg Generico on and, you know, get a more aggressive side of him, which was good. It was very physical, too, a lot of just, you know, beating each other down. You know, they used the high spots in this match, too, but they weren't, like, just crazy spots the entire match, so they made the high spots that much more important when they actually used them. And there were some very good ones. I'm not going to spoil them, but there are some, you know, really good spots here. And I also like Generico, you know, constantly trying to go for the Yakuza kick and the brainbuster, and Ricochet just kept countering and finally he hits it, and that's the way it ends. And I like that a lot. I think it built the match very well. These two guys work very well together. I'd love to see these guys get more matches together. I'm not sure if they've ever had a DG or a DGUSA match, but I think that'd be a great match, you know, if those two were wrestling DGUSA. But this was a very good match, 4 stars. Good way to end the show. Obviously, the tag match probably would have ended it if it wasn't for the travel issues, but still a good way to end the show, and it made a lot of sense. And kudos to PWG for delivering another great show. And their next show, 3 Men Does 3, looks to be like even a better show. I think that could be a match or a show of the year, and definitely looking forward to getting that on DVD. And I could easily recommend this show, like I do most PWG shows. This company's just on their game every year so far that I've been paying attention to them, and just they're always on their A game. So big thumbs up for me. I'll give it a 8.25 out of 10. Good show. Alright, that's it for now, guys. Take care. Bye.